Chapter 6, The Binding. The shadows continued to tug at Emma, pulling her closer to the altar with an unnatural force. She could feel the cold, damp air closing in, her heart pounding in her chest. The dark figure's glowing eyes watched her every movement, its smile widening as she struggled against the weight of the oppressive darkness. "You cannot escape," the figure whispered, its voice like gravel scraping against bone. "The Hollow has chosen you. You are part of its legacy." Emma's pulse raced as she fought to break free, but the more she struggled, the tighter the shadows became. They wrapped around her wrists, pulling her hands toward the stone altar. The air was thick with an ancient power, suffocating her with each breath she took. She could feel it in her chest, something dark and heavy, suffusing the very walls of the chapel. "Who are you?" Emma cried out, her voice cracking as she finally spoke. "What do you want from me?" The figure leaned forward, and its shadowy form seemed to grow larger, consuming the space around her. Its eyes gleamed a malevolent red as it answered, "We are the Hollow. We are the forgotten, the abandoned. We are the ones who were bound to this place, and we wait. We wait for the one who will return, the one who will set us free." Emma felt the world around her begin to blur. The whispers grew louder, more urgent, filling her head, drowning out everything else. "The Hollow calls, it will claim you. It will claim all of you." Suddenly, the altar split open with a loud crack. Emma stumbled back, horrified. From the depths of the broken stone, a figure emerged, tall, gaunt, with skin like cracked earth and glowing red eyes. It looked like a human, yet it was so much more than that. It was ancient, its very being tied to the land beneath her feet. The figure reached out, its long, twisted hand grasping for her. "Come with us," it hissed. "Join the others. Your soul will be ours, just like the others who came before you." Terror surged through Emma's veins. She had no idea what they meant by the others, but the fear that gripped her told her it was something far worse than death. This wasn't just a curse, it was a dark force that devoured everything, consuming the soul itself. With a desperate burst of strength, Emma broke free from the shadows, staggering backward toward the chapel door. But as she tried to open it, the handle burned her hand, as if it were alive and rejecting her touch. "Let me out," she screamed, pounding on the door with all her might. But no matter how hard she tried, the door wouldn't budge. It was as though the entire building itself was alive, a sentient being that wanted her trapped inside. She turned around to face the altar again. The shadows had receded slightly, but the gaunt figure still stood there, its eyes burning with that unholy red glow. The whispers swirled around her, growing louder, more insistent. "The Hollow will never let you leave. You're already a part of us." Emma backed up, realizing that she had no way out. The village, the chapel, the town itself, they were all part of this curse, and she had been drawn in, not by chance, but by fate. Suddenly, the figure spoke again. "Do you not recognize it, Emma?" Its voice was softer now, but still laced with malice. "You are a part of the Hollow's cycle. Your arrival was no accident. You are the descendant of the first who broke the seal. The Hollow has been waiting for you." Emma's heart stopped. Her mind reeled as she tried to process what the figure was saying. I don't understand. What do you mean?" The figure tilted its head, its dark eyes narrowing. "Your bloodline is tied to this place. Your ancestors were the ones who sealed the Hollow away, but when they left behind a part of themselves. And now, the blood has come home. You are the one who will either seal it again, or free it forever." Emma stumbled back, unable to comprehend the horror unfolding before her. "What happens if I free it?" she asked, her voice trembling. The figure grinned, its face twisting into something unrecognizable. "The hollow will rise again. It will claim the world. It will consume everything. And those who do not serve it will be torn apart." The weight of its words settled over her like a heavy shroud. There was no escaping this. She was tied to Hollow's end, to this curse, to this place of death. No matter what she did, she was part of its dark history, its dark fate. And then, the figure reached out with its long, gnarled hand, a gesture of both invitation and warning. "Choose, Emma. You will either bring an end to the Hollow's reign, or you will allow it to rise again, bringing destruction." Her mind raced, and for the first time, Emma realized the truth. This wasn't just about survival. This was about making a choice that would change the course of everything. Could she save herself and possibly the world by breaking the curse, or was the Hollow's call too powerful to resist? F.